you're doing great. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the Project Management Professional or the PMP Certification Exam. I'll be giving you certain study tips, I'll be giving you preparation ways, and I'll be also talking about the recent changes which have happened to the PMP certification program. So PMP, as we many of us know already, is Project Management Professional. It is one of the elite certifications from PMI. And PMI is Project Management Institute based out of Pennsylvania, United States of America. Over the years, this has become one of the most elitist and a gold standard in project management. So I'm pretty sure that all of you would be having a question or a curiosity. What is the benefit of becoming a PMP certified professional? Does it help me in my career? Does it help me land a new job from a technical side into a managerial side? Or is it equivalent to an MBA to grow in my corporate world? So I'll be answering these questions as we move along during this presentation. So what are the reasons or what are the fundamental reasons why one should become a PMP certified professional? There are many reasons. I'm sure each one of us will be having a unique reason for the same. But some of the reasons I have tried to list here. One, of course, it's a global recognition of your project management competency. So this is a global certificate valid across the world, not just restricted to any particular country or any particular continent. The second most important reason is it improves your marketability. It adds that weightage to your resume when you are applying for a project management positions for various roles. The third is if I'm a PMP certified professional, my customers have a confidence in my project management capability. They can trust me that yes, if X person is a PMP certified professional, he or she will bring about the best practices, some of the industry recognized tools into the project and make sure that the project is its logical conclusion. The fourth fundamental reason is definitely, and I can say this from my experience, that being a PMP professional, you tend to improve things in your project. You tend to look at the things from a third eye or from a different perspective. That improves the way you manage your project as a project manager. Fifth reason, it is a industry agnostic certification, which means it is valued across various industries, be it aerospace, civil, construction, mechanical, IT, hardware, software. It is one certificate which cuts across the various industry domains what we have. And last but not the least, as I said, it's a global recognition of your project management competency. So that those are some of the key advantages of why one should go in for a PMP certification. As far as the eligibility is concerned, you should be a bachelor's degree holder with a minimum of 3 years of experience in leading and directing project. Again, when I say leading and directing project, your designation need not be a project manager. You could still be a project lead or an architect, or let us say a consultant or a PMO lead in the project. But you should understand that how a project functions from its initiation to its closure, and you should have led some of the projects. As I said, again, the designation is not important here, but the core application of project management is what one should be aware of. And the third important eligibility criteria is that you should have undergone a 35 contact hour program. So this 35 contact hour program is a very robust program where one goes through the entire nuances of project management, and the exam content outline, which is published by PMI, which acts as a syllabus for PMP, is covered in detail in that 35 contact hour program. Okay, now coming to the exam, I think this is what all of us are curious about, right? How is the exam? What kind of questions can come in the exam? What is the time box of the exam? So this is a 230 minutes exam. So as you can see, right? I mean, it's a very long exam. So once you prepare for the exam, you have to be ready to sit at one place for 230 minutes. There are 180 questions which you have to answer, and out of these 180 questions, 5 questions are pre-test questions, or the questions carry 0 marks. Also, now recently the exam pattern has changed, which means these 180 questions don't come to you at one go. They come to you in three lots of 60 questions. So the first lot will be from 1 to 60 questions. Once I attempt those 60 questions, I can take a 10 minutes break if I want, or even if I don't take a break, the next lot of 60 questions can be invoked. Now, one important thing to remember is that at any point in time, you can only view the current set of 60 questions, which means if I'm in question number 75 and I realize that, you know what, I gave a wrong answer to question number 37, unfortunately, I can't go and change it. That first set of 60 questions will get locked. Similarly, if I am answering question number, let us say 161, and I realize that, oh, I made a mistake in question number 85. The correct answer is something else. Unfortunately, I can't go and correct it. Right? So that's a one very fundamental change which they have made, which was not the case maybe a couple of years back. At any point in time, the current set of 60 questions is only what is visible to you. The previous set of 60 questions or 120 questions, as the case might be, gets locked out. The examination fee for PMP certification is 555 USD, and one needs to fill a detailed application form to register for this exam. So I'll also be shooting a video on how to fill in the PMP application form in a short while, and you can also watch that video how to fill in the PMP application form. Lastly, I would like to give you some study tips, some very, very pertinent study tips as we move along. So one important thing to remember is that this exam is based on a document which is called as Exam Content Outline or ECO. So ECO is a document which is available on the PMI website. I'll be putting the link of this document in the description box of this video. Please have a look at the latest ECO from the PMI website. The way this exam syllabus or the contents are now crafted is something like this. You have three main areas which we call as domains. The three domains which are there are the people domain, the process domain, and the business environment domain. So gone are the days when we had if you recall, those of you who would have given this exam earlier, we had the process group kind of a structure, right? Now the exam content outline talks about three domains: the people, the process, and the business environment. Under domain, we have tasks. So there are 35 tasks, as you can see in the exam content outline. And each task gets broken down into what we call as enablers. So the structure is domain, task, and enablers. And on the slide, you can see the configuration of these domains, tasks, and enablers. Again, do not get too much bogged down by this numbers right now. Once you understand the ECO, these things would become very, very easy and clear for you to understand. The questions can be asked in any random order, which means the first question can be about closing a project, whereas the 180th question can be about how do I initiate a project. The way the questions are asked can be of various format. For example, you can have multiple choices where you have to pick up one answer. You can have match the following where you have to drag and drop. You can have a picture based question where you have to click on the picture, or you can have multiple choices with multiple options. So let's say a question might have 6 options and you have to pick 2 or 3, whichever is applicable based on the question. Let me now give you some of the tips for effectively studying for the PMP certification exam. The first tip I would like to start with is that have a plan in place. And I always tell my students that if you are not able to clear this exam in 45 days after the 35 contact hour program, you will never be able to clear it. Okay, so have a plan in place. And when I say 45 days plan, I assume that all of us are working professionals spending 8 to 10 hours at our workplace, spending another 2 hours for travel, home to office and office to back. Assuming that, I'm saying that it is possible to clear this exam in 45 days. Because as I said, if you don't clear it in 45 days, you will never clear this exam. The second important tip which I would like to give you is have a study plan in place. So I have a recommended study plan, assuming that your work days are Monday to Friday and Saturday, Sunday is a holiday. So Monday to Friday, you should be spending a minimum of 2 hours daily. Makes it 10 hours from Monday to Friday. This is minimum recommended from my side. And on Saturday, Sunday or weekends, it should be minimum 4 hours. So 4 plus 4, 8. So total 18 hours of dedicated study minimum is required per week to hit that 45 days time period. More the merrier, I would say. The third tip I would like to give you is that before your exam, if you can take a 3 to 4 days leave so that you are out of the workplace pressures. I have found this tip to be very beneficial to my participants. So let's say if my exam is on, let us say, 15th of November, maybe I will take 3 or 4 days before 15th of November as a break from my office course, and I will focus fully on studying for the PMP certification. So this can be another strategy which one can apply. The fourth tip is that when you're answering questions, use a technique called as method of elimination. What is method of elimination? Out of the options what you see, try to eliminate the option which is illogical, which is not at all possible as an answer to that question which is being asked, and then try to focus on remaining questions. So this works much faster to reach the answer, the method of elimination. Fifth tip, the fifth tip which I have for all of you is that make sure that you practice lot of sample exams and time box these exams. You should get a real feeling of an exam when you're studying for the PMP certification. So dedicate some time, maybe 4 hours on a weekend, to actually solve real practical questions or real sample tests which are available. That would be my next step for all of you. The next step would be that there is no negative marking in the exam. So why take any chances, right? Whatever answer you feel is the best answer, go ahead and mark that answer. And I'm sure there is a probability which is going to work. And even if you, let us say, mark an answer with an intelligent guess, there's a high probability that that answer would be correct, or it will be marked as a correct answer. So don't leave any question unanswered. The next step which I have is, if a question is taking more than 90 seconds, my suggestion would be mark that question for review. So pick an option which you think is the closest option, mark that question for review, and then move ahead. You can always come back to that question within that slot of 60 questions. So let's say, for example, I'm answering the first 60 questions. Let's say question number 34, I'm not sure. I will mark it and I will come back to question number 34 before I submit the lot of 1 to 6. And lastly, a tip which is related to the same point which I mentioned, that before you close a section, make sure that you have answered all the questions. Do not leave any question unanswered, because as I said, there is no negative marking for the exam. So make sure that you attempt all the questions. So I hope these 8 tips were beneficial to all of you. Here is wishing you all the best for your PMP journey. Do subscribe and share my channel link with your friends. And if you find this video interesting, do put in your comments in the comment box. This is Ashutosh Bhattodekar signing off for the moment. Bye and have a great day ahead. Thank you.